We got a long way to go, I'd say. You have to be happy with a couple of things. First off, you want to address intensity, and that was assuredly there. And then we got to look at our detail of how we carried ourselves and how we operated on that first day. And I thought uniformly, I thought we were on it, and that's something we can build on for sure. And I think the third thing that we have to address is our culture, which is one of the most important things about Gladiator hockey. And I thought to this point that the guys have been responding the right ways in those avenues, and I think our culture's off to a good start, which is obviously the most important foundation for this club.
This is the first team essentially that you've built yourself. What went into it? Again, elaborate on the identity you're looking for this team to have.
That's a great question. I think for us going into the season, we always want to go after guys who are motivated. By different things, whether it was guys who maybe didn't have the best experience last year, or guys such as Andy Brandt who are returning to win a championship. And so we wanted to go after guys, and we addressed guys who had certain motivations for this season. And every player plays differently, and every player plays for different reasons. And we went after guys who are ultra motivated by internal and external dynamics that maybe they change for each guy. But that's where we went after, and obviously I think we achieved that. And just to give into a little bit more in terms of specifics, we went after guys who were a little bit bigger. And we wanted to keep that same intensity. We think that cultures are one of the best things about what we have here, and we wanted to go after guys with a little bit more size and a little bit more speed this year. And so that's kind of the blueprint we went after. And so far I like what we see.
Seems like this is a team with a real strong leadership base. You mentioned Andy Brandt, Joey Haddad, Tyler Marovich, and a lot of communication from those guys out there today.
Yeah, no doubt. And there's other guys too. I mean, Clacker comes back, and he's leading by example. He's out there throwing the body. John Scrimger, who is just a high-end character player, and I think he's barely even touched the surface of what he can accomplish as a professional. And then the list goes on. And Ryan Donald's another guy who we bring in here from Florida, and just playing against him last year and getting to observe his on ice demeanor and the way that he carries himself and his reputation. It's just that's the type of individual we want here. Guys who add to our culture, and it all starts with Brando for sure. And that's a guy that anybody would follow into a battle.
Your second year as a pro head coach, what things have you picked up on? What have you learned that maybe impacted the way you're going to run camp here?
I think it's always there's different observations on how you want to run your camp, and I think you always have to just take the pulse of your group. And out of the gate, what we're really trying to establish are the pillars of what we're all about. And so, for today's session, the guys were only at work for 2 hours today, including a video off ice and on the ice. And what we want is intensity out of this group, and we want passion. And we want guys who are going to come to the rink and have fun playing. And so we're going to try to keep it as fresh as we possibly can, and we're going to hammer in on our cultural items. And that's where we're going to start with the ground base here for the first few days. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get into the things that establish us on the ice, and that the fans start to see a little bit more in terms of our systems and ideals and values and how we run the club. But I think you always have to build in a progression, and we start with the most important thing, which is culture, and then we're going to build into what we do on the ice in terms of our structure.
Did anybody surprise you out there today?
No, it's we knew what we're getting. We had a summer to kind of get after these guys, and everybody looks great. I mean, there was nobody out there that looked out of shape or anything like that, and everybody looked like they were in top form. And I think the one guy, to be honest with you, who came out, I shouldn't say one guy, we had a couple guys on tryouts. Samuel Normando looked fantastic out there. Where he came from last year at this point, guy who paid his own way, and he looked tremendous out there. I couldn't have been happier for him and Greg Zubko, our emergency backup. Those guys came out and they played awesome today. And so the more depth that we can add to the organization in any way, shape, or form, that only makes us better.
Last question, Robo. What kind of help do you think we can expect from Phoenix affiliate-wise?
It's a good question, and it's one of those I'm really not too at liberty to discuss at this point. Everything's very cloudy with the lockout and what they're going to do. They have a couple guys they might be able to send back to juniors. 2 goalies for sure. So that's what we can bank on, and after that, we're not really sure.
When do you expect the goalies here?
We should have one for the exhibition game and then one for the next exhibition game. So we should have 2 by the start of next week.